And here, wait, hang on. Put Catherine. Catherine, I'm sorry. You said she did, and then we sort of cut you off, so we didn't get the rest of your comment.
Oh, so she didn't go through with it, and so this is her fourth child, and he's 5 months old. He was also born on my daughter's 18th birthday, so they share the same birthday. She just met him about 3 days ago for the first time. He's 5 months. And it's a beautiful story because I used to be one of those marchers.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just thought it was sort of God's gift to me to be able to hold and take care of a baby that just by marching and taking part of praying the rosary and all of that I now have the benefit of seeing a child that was saved. The mother who almost did this, she's a darling person, but she was also saved from abortion.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and that's a point we're going to get into later on.
Mm-hmm.
But thanks so much for sharing with us. We appreciate it.
Okay.
Great story.
And that's part of this whole process, Jonathan, is you need to see the other side. You need to see the positiveness and the hope. Let's go to the other call. Go ahead.
Welcome to the program, Larry. Are you there?
Good morning.
Yeah, sorry about that, brother.
No problem. I know it was nothing I said.
Yeah.
So I don't know what part you heard, but again, God bless you both for doing this show.
Well, thank you.
This is one of the greatest moral issues or immoral issues facing our society. And I think it calls out for God's judgment. God is not some uninterested bystander, spectator in the affairs of men. This is so beyond something a civilized society can do. And I mean, when you look at it from a secular point of view, you look at everyone that's 35 years old or less, 1/3 of them are missing as a result of abortion.
Mm-hmm.
And you think of a disease that we're killing people at this rate. I mean, we'd throw out all the stops to put an end to it.
Right, right.
But this is voluntary genocide that's going on. And, I mean, these are people that are not paying Social Security from a secular point. They're not paying Social Security. That are not buying goods and services. That are not, from a spiritual aspect, I think it's such a great sin because I believe that God is the author of all life. What we're saying to God is, you made a mistake.
Mm.
You know, God is divine. He does not make mistakes. We're making the mistake.
Mm-hmm.
He told us, I believe the scriptures say, God says in the scriptures, I knew you before you were by name.
Mm-hmm.
I knitted you in your mother's womb. What does Jesus Christ say? You know, rather than to hurt a small child, you'd be better with a millstone around your neck and be thrown into the sea. What you do for the least of my brethren, you do for me. And Isaiah says, in the end times, even the elect will be deceived. And I think we're people in such in the grips of evil that they're deceived. I looked at, we had a recent election. I'm not going to get political, but one of the candidates was pro-abortion, one was pro-life. People had an opportunity to vote and not be an accessory to this terrible crime. Well, I'm a Catholic, and 54 to 45, they voted in favor of the abortion candidate. Of the practicing Catholics, 49% voted for the abortion candidate. Now, what are they doing at church? What are they hearing? What are they not hearing? What are they ignoring? Do they think a person's position on education or capital punishment or any other issue matters? If a person told you they were a racist or a terrorist, would you ask them any other positions that they hold? Would you say I'm not a one-issue person? Well, we're going to answer to God for what we've tried to do about this and what we haven't done. And are we going to say to God, I was my brother's keeper or I was not? We cannot call ourselves a civilized society when you think of the horrors that we're doing that are going on every day, over 4,000 a day, the very things that you described. If it's so awful that we have trouble hearing what's done, should it be something we're doing?
Right, right.
Listen, I want to thank you for letting me go on here, but once again, thank you and God bless you.
Well, thank you, Larry. We appreciate your call. very, very much. And folks, we'll tell you that whenever we prepare the subject, Larry comes to mind because
Absolutely.
he is very outspoken.
And he's dedicated to this issue.
And it's good that there are people out there like Larry
that's for sure.
doing that and not afraid of the consequences of their position. Very, very strong and forthright. So thanks, Larry, so much. Jonathan, real quick before the end of this hour, there's a few more pictures. Let's go up to 16 weeks. When you look at that 16-week-old picture, describe it?
It looks completely like a baby. I don't know.
You see this little face, and it's sleeping.
Yep.
And it's peaceful.
Mm-hmm.
And that's at 16 weeks. That's what, 4 months. That's into the second trimester. A lot of abortions are done at this point in time. 4 months in, and you've got this beautiful, beautiful baby. And of course, at 20 weeks, Jonathan, there's this whole being.
Absolutely.
Okay, we're nearly out of time for this first hour. Jonathan, let's sum up a little bit of the hour here. We've been talking about an issue that's very, very difficult. It's called the pro-choice versus pro-life issue. And when you say pro-choice, what you're saying is my choice about my life as a pregnant woman now is more important than the allowance of a life to exist. I have the power to cut off this life, this little tiny life, like Peter said, that you don't even know. I have the power to cut off this life from existing. And Larry brought up a good point. He said, when you think about people at 35 and under, 1/3 of the population has been aborted, did not even get a chance to live. And if there was a disease like that out there, what would we be doing? We'd be afraid of it. We'd be fighting it. We'd be doing everything in our power to stop it. Life is sacred. In the second hour, we're going to take much more of a scriptural perspective on this and look at the values that are given to us in the Bible to help us to be encouraged and strengthened to do the right things. Folks, for Jonathan and Rick, this is Christian Questions. We'll be back after the news, but until then, so what about abortion? Think about it.